Pensacola is a special place. For those of us who love the salt water, it is one of the most special places on earth. We all remember Mayor Vince Wibbs, who said it best when he said, "Where thousands live, like millions wish they could." And those of you who live here know already that the salt water and the recreational it provides are a huge part of that appeal. I'm Tim O'Brien. I present this video to you on behalf of the Pensacola Big Game Fishing Club. The club is a nonprofit 501c3 organization whose mission it is to make sure that big game fishing survives and is productive for countless future generations. We have been a big part of Pensacola since 1970. To serve and expand upon that mission, PBGFC is building on the Intracoastal Waterway the Center for Billfish Conservation and Education. I have the honor of being the chairman of the capital campaign for the center. We all hope you'll join with us in our efforts to make the center a reality. So, sit back and enjoy this presentation for a few minutes while we talk about Pensacola, the club, big game fishing, and how we can tie all of these together and expand the love of the greater Gulf outdoors to countless future generations of anglers. For centuries, the sunrise has greeted Pensacola anglers. Anglers who are excited to get out on the water and catch something perhaps they catch every day, or maybe they've never caught. Anglers who are taking their kids or grandkids saltwater fishing for the first time, hoping that they too find that strange combination of excitement and peace that can be found on those great stretches of salt water while you're working and waiting for the big bite. We often take for granted how tied we are in the greater Pensacola area to the saltwater outdoors. Everywhere you look around here, you see a bayou, or a bay, or the Sound, big lagoon, or of course the Gulf of Mexico. Most of us would agree that outside the wonderful people who call this place home, the fact that our home is being tucked into this great mosaic of waterways is what makes this area beautiful and unique, and what makes us, the folks who call this place home, truly blessed with and in our surroundings. Pensacola has been tied to saltwater big game fishing for a long time. I mean, you just think about it. Pointing the way to Pensacola Beach is a sailfish sign. And just think about when the city of Pensacola and community leader Quint Studer continued the revitalization of the Pensacola downtown core, fueled in no small part by the Community Maritime Park and the single best minor league baseball stadium in America. They put it to the people of Pensacola to name the professional baseball team, to name that team that would play on the shores of Pensacola Bay. And the people here spoke, and so were born the Blue Wahoos. And then, not a stone's throw from that stadium is Palafox Pier. Palafox Pier is the home of the oldest billfish tournament on the Gulf of Mexico, the Pensacola International Billfish Tournament, which for more than 50 years has been hosted by the Pensacola Big Game Fishing Club.
Pensacola International Billfish Tournament, again, is history, and it was a tournament that really broke with tradition in a lot of different ways. They had lousy weather for the celebrity shootout, great weather for the rest of the tournament, and to my left, Eddie Rushing, the tournament chairman. How did you feel it went?
Well, we are just tickled to death with the tournament. It just couldn't have gone any better. It takes two things to make a successful tournament, two major things, the things that we can't control, and that is the weather and the fish. And we got just fantastic weather. It was slick as a lake out there, and a 639 blue marlin. You can't do much better than that.
Eddie, it ran awfully smoothly. Congratulations. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Since its founding in 1970, PBGFC has studied, promoted, and encouraged the conservation of billfish and the other saltwater big game species. The club is the only club on the Gulf of Mexico to become a founding member of the Billfish Foundation when it was created and endowed nearly 40 years ago. Key to that effort has been the promotion of things such as the use of circle hooks, as well as safe and effective tag and release techniques. PBGFC hosts the first major billfish tournament to require catch and release of all white marlin and all sailfish, and more than 95% of all blue marlin caught in that tournament. The club has supported and worked very closely with the Billfish Foundation, and we are happy to share with you some of the thoughts of the president of the Billfish Foundation, Ellen Peel.
Pensacola Big Game Fishing Club has established itself and continues as being a leader in sport fishing conservation and management. No other club in the Gulf of Mexico, or anywhere else for that matter, gives annual support to TBF. Members have also attended government public meetings and given testimony. They also have written letters. So the genuine support by the club members of TBF and our mission is extraordinary.
So conservation efforts without educational outreach are destined for disappointing results. Since its founding, PBGFC has had to rely on a string of borrowed space to host speakers from conservation organizations, academic research centers, and government agencies. These important speakers touch on matters critical to the health of the big game saltwater fishery. These topics range from circle hooks to effective catch and release to data collecting satellite tag and release programs. The PBGFC Speaker Series illustrates how local efforts impact global conservation goals, all directed to ensuring that healthy monster billfish fill the Gulf of Mexico today, tomorrow, and forever. To that end, the PBGFC now has decided to build on its mission, literally. The PBGFC Center for Billfish Conservation and Education is needed to sustain and expand upon the mission to study, promote, and encourage the conservation of the saltwater big game species and to bring the next generation of anglers into the love of the sport. Land on the Intracoastal Waterway has been acquired for the center and construction is well underway, but we need your help to make the center a reality. We are here now in May of 2024, and as all can see, the center's construction is moving along. The project has moved much more quickly than even was hoped for, and that's in no small part to the hands-on management of those construction professionals on the PBGFC Board of Directors, as well as in-kind contributions from many companies throughout Northwest Florida and Alabama. Let's hear now from Tom Hammond. Tom is a well-regarded professional engineer who is the immediate past president of the club, and Tom leads the building effort on behalf of the club.
It's come out of the ground quickly because of all the help and the cash donations we've had to date and the services and materials delivered to the site. But it's only at this state because of that, and we're going to need the same kind of cash donations and help finish it up.
With everything that is going on and how quickly it is coming together, one might assume that the center's reality is a foregone conclusion. That, unfortunately, is not the case. There is a long way to go to complete construction of the center, as well as retire the debt that has gotten construction to this point. Now let's hear from PBGFC President Justin Williams.
So the center needs your help and everyone in the local community's help. We are at a position to where we need to get this over the finish line, and through generous contributions that have already been given through cash, as well as our corporate sponsors through time and labor, we need your help to finish the center, to continue to expand the Pensacola Big Game Fishing Club's mission for education and conservation.
The person who has breathed life into the center is a man we all refer to as the club statesman, Gary Sluter.
Yeah, the pavilion area, I'm excited about it because we're going to have an area here that we can have little seminars and teach the young kids on not only how to fish, but someday we'll have a dock out here and they'll be able to go out there and actually fish out there. My kids and grandkids both came up through the Pensacola Big Game Club, and we want to share that with other people in the community. We've had a couple times that we tried to do this and just couldn't get through the technical parts, and this time we had the opportunity to do it, so I'm proud to be part of that and proud to see it coming. And we want to expand this and have other people get involved that don't know that we have such a beautiful resource right here off of our coast.
This then is the expanded mission of PBGFC made possible by the Center, and we certainly hope that you will be part of this remarkable opportunity in our community. This is a time of excitement for those of us in the Pensacola big game fishing community, not only for what has been accomplished over the past 50 years, but what will be accomplished in the next 50 years. For those benefactors making pelagic level contributions, as well as corporate in-kind donors, they rightfully will be thanked and recognized forever on the major donor wall, which will be the first thing any visitor to the Center sees as he walks in. Folks, it's time to make the Center a reality. For centuries, just as the eastern sunrise has greeted Pensacola anglers on the way out of port, the western sunset has welcomed them home. Home with not only the tales of their catch, but also with the peace and renewal the time on the saltwater has brought. And with those, the memories, whether alone, with friends, with their children or grandchildren, or with people they swear they'll never fish with again, even though they probably will. Like everything worth doing well, saltwater fishing requires commitment and attention to detail, and then it gives back. It also takes commitment to conservation and respect for the Gulf of Mexico, because she'll keep giving back if we give her that commitment. Since 1970, the Pensacola Big Game Fishing Club has been committed to serving the mission of Billfish Conservation and Education. We now expand that mission to ensure the Gulf continues to welcome eager anglers for generations to come. We hope you'll join the effort.